Today, we're delving into a deeply complex and long-standing conflict that has captured the world's attention for decades: the Israel-Palestine conflict. To understand this conflict, we must first examine its historical context. The roots of the Israel-Palestine conflict trace back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The region known today as Israel and Palestine was under Ottoman rule for centuries. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the empire was in decline, and nationalist movements began to emerge. The Zionist movement emerged in the late 19th century, primarily as a response to the growing anti-Semitic sentiments in Europe and Russia. Jews faced discrimination and persecution in many parts of Europe, prompting the need for a secure homeland. At the end of World War I, the Ottoman Empire was defeated, and its territories in the Middle East, including Palestine, were placed under the control of the Allied powers. This period saw increased Jewish immigration. In 1917, the British government issued the Balfour Declaration, which expressed support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. This declaration was a pivotal moment in the development of the Israel-Palestine conflict, as it aligned British policy with the Zionist movement's aspirations. In 1920, the League of Nations granted Britain the mandate to govern Palestine. The mandate system was established to provide temporary supervision and guidance to former Ottoman territories, with the ultimate goal of self-determination. During the mandate period, Britain administered the territory, implementing policies that affected the demography, economy, and political landscape of Palestine. Jewish immigration to Palestine increased significantly during the mandate period. This led to demographic shifts and heightened tensions with the Arab population, who opposed the idea of Jewish self-determination in the land. The Arab population in Palestine staged several uprisings against British rule and Jewish immigration. These events highlighted the depth of opposition to British and Zionist policies. The British mandate for Palestine played a significant role in the development of the Israel-Palestine conflict. It set the stage for ongoing disputes over territory, self-determination, and national identity. The United Nations proposed a partition plan in 1947, recommending the creation of separate Jewish and Arab states. The plan was accepted by the Jewish leadership, but rejected by Arab leaders, leading to great tensions. In 1948, David Ben-Gurion, Israel's first prime minister, declared the establishment of the State of Israel. Arab states launched a military intervention, resulting in the Arab-Israeli War. The war resulted in a complex and shifting series of battles, ceasefires, and negotiations. Israel was able to secure its existence and expand its territory, while the Arab states involved experienced mixed results. The war also resulted in the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinian Arabs, contributing to a refugee crisis. In 1967, Israel fought the Six-Day War against neighboring Arab states and gained control over the West Bank, Gaza Strip, East Jerusalem, the Golan Heights, and the Sinai Peninsula. This war further complicated the conflict. The Second Intifada began in late September 2000. Initially as a series of protests, demonstrations, and stone-throwing incidents. The violence quickly escalated, with clashes between Palestinian protesters and Israeli security forces. Unlike the First Intifada, 1987 to 1993, the Second Intifada saw the use of more lethal tactics, including suicide bombings, shootings, and rocket attacks. Israel responded with a military crackdown, including the reoccupation of Palestinian cities and towns, curfews, checkpoints, and targeted assassinations of Palestinian militant leaders. Various Palestinian militant groups, including Hamas and Islamic Jihad, played a significant role in the armed struggle against Israel. The Second Intifada garnered international attention and led to various peace initiatives and negotiations, such as the Taba talks in 2001. However, these efforts did not yield a comprehensive resolution to the conflict. In May 2021, a significant escalation of violence occurred in the Gaza Strip, leading to an 11-day conflict between Israel and Hamas, the Palestinian militant organization that controls Gaza. The conflict resulted in heavy casualties and extensive damage in Gaza, as well as some casualties in Israel. Prior to the Gaza conflict, tensions had been escalating in East Jerusalem. The threatened eviction of Palestinian families from the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood and restrictions around the Al-Aqsa Mosque had led to protests and clashes in the city. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict remained unresolved, with significant challenges in finding a lasting peace agreement. Issues such as settlements in the West Bank, the status of Jerusalem, and the right of return for Palestinian refugees continued to be sources of tension. The Israel-Palestine conflict is marked by historical grievances, territorial disputes, and security concerns, with both Israelis and Palestinians having legitimate claims to the land. The conflict is further complicated by the role of neighboring Arab states and international interests. It remains one of the most enduring and complex conflicts in the world, with ongoing efforts to find a peaceful solution. As we conclude this overview, I encourage you to delve deeper into the history, the perspectives of both sides, and the ongoing efforts for peace in the region. Thank you for joining us today to explore the Israel-Palestine conflict. Like, share, and subscribe for more insights into complex global issues. And I'll see you in the next adventure.